Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Blood Quantum. Before we begin, let me know in the comments if you were looking forward to this or what your thoughts were if you've already seen it. And make sure to give this a thumbs up if you like these reviews. It helps me out immensely. Also, if you're new here and you like movies, whether it be blockbusters, hidden gems, or everything in between, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases and some classics. But now, let's jump right in. The film takes place on an indigenous reserve in Canada where a zombie outbreak has occurred. Within the span of 6 months, the outbreak has become widespread and the reserve has become a shelter for the uninfected. They learn that indigenous people are somehow immune from being infected, and as they begin to plan a way of moving forward, a divide occurs among the residents. This was released back in April on the streaming service Shudder, and I saw it a while back and didn't get to review it, but I figured now's the perfect time to talk about it as it'll actually be out on Blu-ray and VOD September 1st, for those of you who don't have Shudder. It's written and directed by Jeff Barnaby, and this is his second feature film. His first was in 2013, a film called Rhymes for Young Ghouls, which I haven't seen, but I've read it's worth checking out. If you're a big fan of zombie movies, I think this will be right up your alley. It can be very stylistic at times. The look of the zombies is great, and whenever we see them in action, as well as whenever the protagonists fight back, it's pretty brutal. It's an extremely bloody movie, and the kill sequences can get pretty graphic, but fans of the genre will certainly be satisfied here. There are also these cool, very hyper-animated sequences sprinkled throughout. They're not used often, but they're used especially in the beginning to help set this world up, and it almost reminded me of this wild-looking, over-the-top cutscene from a video game. They look great, and I kind of wish they were used more often as they were visually appealing and made for some cool moments. Barnaby is clearly someone with a vision. This is filmed exceptionally well, and the shots were stunning, especially when we'd see these wide shots of this decimated society. Barnaby stated in interviews this is a take on colonialism. In the early days of European settlers arriving on Native American land, indigenous people succumbed to a lot of diseases. And here the twist is that it's the indigenous people who are immune to this outbreak while everyone else is succumbing to zombie bites. And now they have to work to protect their land. There's a pro-environment message in here as well. Even though the setup might remind you of something out of any other zombie movie, through dialogue the message is conveyed that the area they're protecting is land they specifically built and they have to do what they can to protect it. Not even death can stop people from attacking it, so I like the social commentary this film had to offer. It's also well acted. Our two main characters are a sheriff named Trailer, played by Michael Greyeyes, and his son Joseph, played by Forrest Goodluck. Both did a good job here, and I like the dynamic between the two. They had some solid chemistry, and they lead a group that includes Trailer's ex-wife as well as Joseph's half-brother. We don't get to explore that much of who they are necessarily. There's a moment at the beginning where Joseph is arrested for vandalism and we see a bit of the father-son dynamic with Trailer, but not much beyond that. But everyone did well with what they were given. And while this is a good movie, I wouldn't call it great, unfortunately, and that's mainly for its second half. The first half shows the outbreak as it's just starting, while the second half cuts to 6 months later where the reservation has become a shelter and everyone's doing what they can to protect it. It's still enjoyable, especially due to the action scenes with the zombies, some of which almost go into B-movie territory, but that isn't the full focus of the movie. In fact, the second half felt like it loses some of its focus. It gets lost a bit in these dialogue-driven scenes, like there are a lot of arguments over letting survivors in, and for a movie with a setup that looked like it was trying to subvert the tropes of the zombie genre, it kind of just ends up embracing those tropes, with infighting among the people at the compound and letting someone infected come in. This part felt like watching an extended episode of The Walking Dead, and it threw off the pacing at times. It was more just these discussions rather than actively working towards anything in particular. It wasn't totally bad, there were still some great scenes in the second half, and it ends on a solid note. It just wasn't as strong as its first half. Overall, I wouldn't call this great, but it was still good. It ends up embracing some of the cliches it was trying to subvert in its second half, but it still brings up some interesting ideas with its social commentary. Plus, it's well acted, well directed, and the action scenes are great. If you're someone who really enjoys zombie movies, you'll definitely appreciate this. Blood Quantum gets a 7 out of 10. So let me know, did you see Blood Quantum or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you like the social commentary? Did you like the action? And what's one of your favorite zombie movies? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you next time.